What's going on, everybody? We've got an injury report, and we're almost 26 hours away from kickoff for the Jets Broncos because they're playing in London. We've got a final injury report, which has a lot of good news for the Jets. Thank the Lord above. We'll get into it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very subject matter. A lot of good news for the Jets on the injury report. There is some bad news. We'll get into that as well. And get you ready for Jets Broncos tomorrow morning. So, of course, we'll have to have an abbreviated version of Boy Green Daily to get us ready because we're going to have the live watch party and play-by-play tomorrow morning for Jets Broncos. That'll be exclusively on NFL Network. We won't be able to show it because of television rights, but I'll give you the full play-by-play for that game. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see you guys. We had a week off last week because of the tailgate, which was awesome. More on the tailgate coming up in just a bit. Let's go to my co-host for this Saturday program. It is Hop on Pop. Pop?
Hey now. Good morning, Coffee Club.
There you go. And look at that shirt you're wearing there. That's very interesting. Let's see.
Hey now.
There it is.
Go. Legendary. This is going in Smithsonian after today's show. So it's going to get hung up in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, it's the first annual, and we'll have all kinds of fun stuff in the future. We will be doing this event in the future, so if you guys missed out, hey, make sure you save up your shekels because we'll be making an announcement somewhere in the spring of getting ready for the next year. So it turns around quicker than you think, so start saving up your money now. We try to make it as affordable as possible, but what a time it is to gather together and be around your fellow Jet fans. So more on that to come. And we'll have more on that. And I see we have memberships coming in, and we'll get to those here in just a moment. But, Pop, let's quickly get to the injury report at hand first, and then we'll get to all those memberships raining from the high heavens. Like I said, there's good news and bad news. Let's get to the good news immediately, because boy, do Jet fans need it at 0-5. Jermaine Johnson, full go. He's back. He got injured. Well, we could debate when he got injured, I suppose, but he was removed from the Buffalo game of week 2, missing week 3, week 4, and week 5. He's finally back here in week 6 for this London trip. Full go. That is a huge boost for the Jets. And Kene Nguanu, their former All-Pro return man, Jermaine Johnson, by the way, former Pro Bowler, and Kene Nguanu, their former All-Pro return man, he did not get that All-Pro with the Jets. He got it with during his first stint on the Minnesota Vikings before coming over here. He injured his hamstring really badly, as it turns out, in the season opener, and it's been an obvious whirlwind of crap of the Jets attempting to replace him. Xavier Gibson in that same game fumbled the kickoff. We had Isaiah Williams fumble the kickoff in week 4, and the Jets lost both those games by a single score. Who knows what happens if those fumbles don't happen for either of those potential wins that could have happened for the Jets. So Kene Nguanu's been out since week 1, so he missed week 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a full month, and now he's finally back, which again, hopefully can stop this raucous roller coaster that it has been here for the Jets and all these crazy ass returners they've been throwing out. So those are two big boosts for the New York Jets on defense and special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely need to lock down this returner for the rest of the season. Before we go into the flip side of this injury coin, I'd like to shout out, and I was actually going to mention this, and Donald Johnson helped me, prompt me. I was going to talk about it. So if you are gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership from people like the mighty #1 Austrian Jets fan who gives a lot, or motherfucking Chew who gives a lot, and the list goes on and on. I won't go any further than that. That's a one and done. So if you don't do anything, it will expire, and then your little cool name will not be green. And so you've got to either do it, subscribe yourself, and set up the recurring as, like, for example, I do. It's just rolls and rolls and rolls. But if you're gifted a membership, That's a one and done. It's a one and done, 1 month and done. So you'll see a lot of people get gifted memberships that you're like, I thought they were a member already. That's because they don't have that recurring thing set up. So just want to clear the air on that.
So, yeah, let's do that real quick as we're talking about this. So, our number one Osher Jet fan gifted a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. And every time 5 memberships or more are gifted, we play a video package. And I know the one that Austrian loves to hear.
Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Thank you, Jets fan Kevin James, for that. Pop, who are the 10 new members to Boy Green Coffee Club?
We got Justin Roberts, JT, John Hardigan, Michael Palmero, Nate, Jets Life 321, M123, L123, Jerry Moore, Mr. Roberts, and Travis Preheem, who I know has been a member of past. Here's an example of somebody that.
So with that being said, a couple of things here. First off, number one Osher Jet fan, you have 28 raffle tickets. We'll reveal our prizes, which I know we have not done for the month of October yet. That'll come here in just a moment. But as my pop just pointed out, 10 people just got memberships to Boy Green Coffee Club and it works month to month. So October 11th, you 10 people out there in the audience have a Boy Green Coffee Club membership and all the perks that come with it through November 11th. And then you will get an email that says, hey, do you want to keep being a Boy Green Coffee Club member? It's only $3. And then you say yes. And then all of a sudden it'll re-sign you and you'll be a member moving forward. If you say no, you lose all the perks of being a Boy Green Coffee Club member. And real quick, you get the loyalty badge next to your name. As Donald brought up, your name highlights in green. Boy Green makes a lot of sense. So you obviously get that. You get early access to videos. We try to do special interviews throughout the season with big-time guests. You guys get that before anyone else. You get access to our Discord channel, which we talk Jets all the time. And that's also where you guys can get heads up on some of these meet and greets and meetups that we do. That's all on the Discord. So all that and more, plus all the emojis that are custom made by our friends over at Jets Worldwide, all that together. So if you guys would like to join the Boy Green Coffee Club right now, on top of everything else I just said, you could get raffle tickets. So Donald Johnson, I see, is in our comment section. If he joins the Boy Green Coffee Club right now, which is the pinned comment on YouTube, you click that and join in for $2.99. On top of all those perks I just said, which you do get, you also get a raffle ticket to our contest for all these prizes I'm about to highlight on the screen. So it's, again, I champion it as one of the greatest deals in YouTube land, and it really is. To have a chance to win free stuff, to get to be a part of this community, it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
What was the price? Was it $3.99 or $4.99?
It is $2.99.
$2.99.
What a deal. 100%. So, Donald, make sure you hop on that. And everyone else, for that matter, feel free to jump on the train, because here's our prize pack for this month. A lot of cool items in here. We have the 1975 official New York Jets yearbook cover. Shout out to Joey Matesic, who donated that to the Boy Green Coffee Club, along with some of the cool autograph items we gave away at our meet and greet at Chef Kevin Gilbert's restaurant. So, it's hard for some of the stuff to get pried from my hands, because I love to keep it all. But, hey, I want to give back to the Jets universe. We're also, if you didn't get to make the tailgate this year, and people live all over the place, some people just couldn't make it to the tailgate. Well, we're going to bring the tailgate to you if you win our October raffle. It is the Boy Green Woody tailgate package. It includes that t-shirt on the far right of your screen, also being displayed by our great model, Hop on Pop over here. You get a koozie, you get a Jets coaster, you get bottle openers, you get basically the full experience outside of the food. Unfortunately, I've been informed that I can't send that. The quality won't stay the same in a box. So the food I can't send, but everything else with the tailgate we can. So a full tailgate package, a random vintage Jets player t-shirt from the past, a vintage New York Jets NFL Combine authentic cold gear long sleeve with the hood, which is very nice. That's displayed on the left side of your screen there. So all of those items will go to a lucky person on November 1st. So guys, if you want to be eligible for all those prices, it's quite simple. Just spend $3 on the channel. That could be joining the Boy Green Coffee Club, which there's a pinned comment on YouTube, or it's always in the YouTube description. You can send in super chats on the show, questions for us to answer. That also is fair game. And you guys don't have to send all the $3 at once. You can send $1 today, $1 tomorrow, $1 the next day. It all adds up. I keep track of it throughout the entire process. So Folks, make sure you do that and enjoy it. I see Jared B just dropped in the Discord link in there as well. So boom shakalaka. Look, Austrian sending in a membership shout out here on the program, which we appreciate. Every time we do that, we hear from my daughter Zarailona. Wow. God bless the New York Jets, and God bless. Let's try to get our first win of the season coming up this weekend. I see another message coming in from Hop on Pop. What the? Wow. Just coming in, member for 14 months. Take the like button to Pound Town. Hop on Pop says, which is the free way to contribute. I just told you guys a lot of ways monetarily you can contribute, but the free way to contribute to help get this Jet Show in front of others is simply by liking the video if you guys are watching on YouTube. So make sure you guys take full advantage of that, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, one other thing with the membership, you get it, obviously not this year, but you get access to the Boy Green exclusive fantasy football leagues.
That's also
only for the Discord members.
That is true. Yes, we have two fully fledged out fantasy football leagues with 12 people apiece. It's on Yahoo, but it's a private league. Only members of the Boy Green Coffee Club are eligible to be in those. And the more members we get, I'm sure the more leagues we will create. So, but those will only exclusively be on Discord. So for our fantasy football fans in the audience, if you want to compete against me and your fellow listeners and viewers here on Boy Green Daily, that is the way to do it. And look at this, another membership being gifted from Old Yank, baby. Let's go. All right, Pop, go ahead.
Kyle Clifton, who's been a recent frequent caller to the show. By the way, Kyle, don't forget a month from now to sign yourself up.
100%. Yeah, Kyle is a great contributor to the show in the calls. We'd love to have you as a permanent Boy Green Coffee Club member. Yes, sir. Take full advantage. And thank you to Old Yank. You got yourself a raffle ticket for our contest this month as well. So I told, and good morning to all these Boy Green Coffee Club members in here. Yep. Craig Hatch, good to see you, brother. Beautiful Saturday morning. Joshua Langley, Cecilia out there. It was great meeting you guys at the tailgate. Pour one out for you. 3 siblings I see in here. Your wife, my mother, Michelle's in here. That's very weird to say.
Actually, shout out to Imamji. Let's keep your bacon comments yourself, but love you, honey.
There you go. That's in. And yes, Austrian did make some cool custom gear that I delivered to Woody. And of course, you guys that got it as well. And when I say you guys, it's my family. They got some cool stuff there as well. So thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. And hopefully you guys enjoy. So with that being said, there's good news, obviously. Kane, to me, is massive. Both are huge news. And I think people are overlooking the Kane thing. The Jermaine thing is sort of obvious. The Jets defensive ends have stunk this year, so Jermaine coming back is very in your face. But I think Kane is another one that people are not talking enough about. Thank God that he's back. I think that is tremendous news. Tremendous news for the New York Jets. But here's one that I don't know. Is it good news? Is it bad news? I'm not really sure, Bob. Let's get into that one. Brandon Stevens. He popped up on the injury report with a neck injury. That's always scary. But here's the thing. When you guys are looking at the injury report and you're not sure how to evaluate it, you don't really know what to read from it. Here's something to read. If a guy is practicing for the first 2 days, NFL players practice 3 times a week, and depends on the week. They could be walkthroughs or full practices, all kind of rules. But if you see a player is like fully healthy and not even listed, and then all of a sudden they pop up on the injury report, that's normally bad news. That means that they injured themselves somewhere between the previous practice and the beginning of the next one. That's what happened to Brandon Stevens. He was a full participant, normal, run-of-the-mill player, first 2 days of practice. Then he popped up with a neck on Friday. So somewhere between the end of practice on Thursday and the beginning of practice on Friday, he somehow had this neck issue, and now he's officially questionable. So he's not ruled out yet. But when players pop up, especially with the neck, that's sort of scary, pop up, that means the Jets could turn to one of the youngsters. Quantez Stiggers is on this roster, or Zaire Thomas is on this roster. Michael Carter has already been ruled out, so he will be unavailable for the second straight game. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. played a little slot, so did Isaiah Oliver, so we'll sort of see some decision-making there. But this could open the door. Tough news for Brandon Stevens, but could be good news for one of these young Jets corners getting their opportunity.
Absolutely. And I've heard my voice was muffled. So someone give me a shout out how it is now.
You sound much clearer. Yeah.
Okay, good. It's a good, it's a mixed review, right? We'd like to put the best, 11 on the defense on the field. but you never know what you have until people get an opportunity. So I think it'll be an opportunity for some of the younger men to step up, and show up. So be interesting to look at that. I did have that concern when I saw the injury report.
Yeah, these are, if I had the choice, I would say here are the corners I would want. So Michael Carter's out. Obviously, Sauce is going to start. So who's going to be the other two starters? If I had my druthers, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., let's put him in the slot. And let's give Azareye'h Thomas his first start. I love Quantez, and I know he's been here, but if there's no seniority, that's not how it works. You're just going to pass down the lineup. You're the next chosen one. If this is a what can you do for me now league, and we have not seen AZ Thomas yet. The first two picks of the Jets draft, Armand Membu has been terrific this year, and Mason Taylor's had back-to-back career games, so he looks like the arrow is pointing in the right direction. Let's find out the next highest available draft pick, which is Azareye'h Thomas, who Drew Beatty, who unfortunately we're going to be talking to sooner than I would have liked. No offense to Drew, but I just wasn't ready to talk draft any earlier than I wanted to. But I imagine those conversations are coming sooner rather than later. But Drew said that was one of his favorite steals of the draft, getting a first-round player on his board in the third round. He loved that value for the Jets. We haven't seen it much yet. He hasn't started a game yet this year. But boy, maybe Azareye'h Thomas gets his chance and never gives it back. You never know with injuries and things of that nature. So that would be the three corners I would like to see if I got to sort of pick it out Madden style. I want Sauce. He's gonna be able to turn around. I feel confident in Sauce. You got Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who got his first sort of appearance last week. I think he only played about 12% of the snaps. So again, he was kind of in a timeshare with Isaiah Oliver in the slot. And then boundary corner, I'd love to see Azareye'h Thomas get the first whack at the pinata for the first time this season.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to a super chat. Old Yank wants to do the old double dip action happening here on the program, which normally I'm not in favor of in a group party setting, but if you want to do it of your own accord, I respect it.
Wow.
Well, Old Yank says, good morning, fellow coffee clubbers. Let's get this dub over the pond. Jets, Jets, Jets.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob Lederer, for that. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling it, baby. I feel it. This is going to be the first win. And then, Pop, I ask you, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, baby. And then all of a sudden you start turning this ship around and all of a sudden just get back into this thing, huh?
Yeah, it's interesting. You said turn the ship around. There's actually a leadership book titled exactly that, Turn the Ship Around.
I wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, no, moron, you didn't. But it actually goes to one of my points for today. So thank you for the lead-in, although
thanks,
it was a blind squirrel lead-in. Right. I think one of the keys to, let's just talk about the season, not necessarily tomorrow morning, is really engaging the players, right? You have somebody, I've had thousands of people work for me, and I can tell you exactly what to do. And you're going to, in most cases, do it or not work for me. Or I can say, here's what I would like to have happen. Here's the result I'd like. How do you think I can get there? Right. And so that's much more powerful and much more successful. And so I think the Jets coaching staff needs to be open to that. Right. There's times they need to be told what to do. They need to go do it. But there's things that probably could work. And the coaching staff just needs to be open to them. And I'll just tie it right to the Cowboys, right? Just for a second, just to conceptually, right? They were doing things on the defense that were reaping terrible results. And they got feedback from some of their secondary, like, hey, we need to mix this up. We are better at this in these scenarios. And they did it. And we only have, it's a very small sample size, but they had success changing up how they did it. And so we're doing things differently on the Jets defense. We get that, whatever that snapper head we brought in. We're doing things differently. Well, we should listen to our secondary, right? We should listen, Sauce, what is the challenge? And I'm not picking on Sauce. I'm just using him as an example. What are we doing differently and it's not necessarily him falling the best receiver makes a lot of sense to me. Some of the zone things we do are different than how we did it last year. And that may be impacting our ability to stop the pass. And that's just one example. Why are we not getting pressure on the quarterback when the opposing team is out without 80% of their starting line? There's something that Quentin Williams could tell us. So engaging the players is the key. And then you get the engagement, and people, when they hear you, when you listen to them and you take action based on the results, that's motivational, right? And that's what the Jets need right now, because that speaks to my second point. And this is really, I don't blame Aaron Glenn for a lot of things. I blame him for more than you do. We'll get to that in a minute. But
oh boy, there we go.
It is his responsibility that the players come to play. Now, if the player across from you is better than you, there's little you can do about that. But he should never be able to out hustle you. He should never be able to out. There's no giving up on the football field. And I watched the game 3 times from the Cowboys game live. I watched a 45-minute and a 15-minute, and really to break down both teams and understand what they're doing. And it was shocking the amount of times that you just saw the give up on the Jets. And that is 100% in Aaron Glenn's court. And he needs to fix that and not tolerate it.
I would agree. I think I did a whole rant yesterday on it that I think effort, hustle, and those sorts of things are things you can control, and that should never be in question. Whether you're great, bad, indifferent, you always have to be having that level turned up. And I don't, in the Cowboys game, I thought I saw it a few times where there was some loafing happening. We've seen it in a few other games, unfortunately, this season, which has been incredibly disconcerting. And that's where it goes to me that about AG getting his guys in here. And why I say that is, what, some players were just, you told me before the show, I don't think this made it on air, that we're talking about who AG's guys is and you challenging that theme. And
that's a ridiculous theme. Let me speak for a minute before you.
Sure, okay.
I've heard you say that all this week and weeks before. These are all Aaron Glenn's guys. We just talked about before you got on the show. The majority of the offense were people that who on the offense wouldn't be an Aaron Glenn guy? Almost no one. And don't bring up Alan Lazard. Let's just
that would count. I mean,
that would not count because he's only been a starter like 2 games this season. All the offense are Aaron Glenn guys. Did Aaron Glenn sign Justin Fields? Why, yes, he did. Did he sign XYZ? Yes, he did. Did he draft the offensive line? Yes, he did. So those are all his guys. So let's pump the brakes on that. So you're making a lot of excuses when, in fact, give me a list of, 50% of the starters. Then you could have a case that they're not Aaron Glenn guys. He needs to coach better, and they need to provide better effort.
So be it. But let's give him another offseason. Let's give him more time. Rome is not built in one day. And I know your generation's all about instant coffee and getting it immediately, which is somewhat perturbing. Maybe you should take a second and breathe. Use your own advice. Relax. When you look at this Jets process, I think AG deserves time. There are people trying to put his head on a pike outside of the organization. And I say, hey, buddy, you guys can say whatever you want. I'm an AG guy. I'm going to go down with the ship. I believe AG is going to turn this around. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be doing some backpedaling faster than most of our quarterbacks have done this year when the Jets start winning and they start turning this thing around and people go, but I would, and all that crap they said at the beginning of the season, I don't think it's going to look as favorable.
Yeah. Well, while I'm talking right now, you might want to dust off the participation trophies behind you because your generation is one that came up with that horse shit. Anyways, hey now.
That's it. Neither here nor there. By the way, real quick, can we sprinkle one of these in? Can we sprinkle one of these in?
Yep.
You probably need a second to breathe here.
That was Snoopy 4951. Snoopy 4951.
Beautiful. By the way, our top 5 is back. You guys can see it on the scrolling ticker, so you guys can continue to compete against one another, perhaps, for supremacy in the raffle giveaway. So that is our top 5 leaderboard. It's back, baby. So if you gift Boy Green Coffee Club memberships and surge into the lead, or anywhere in the top 5 for that matter, you guys will always see that, and I will continue to update that as new ones come in. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan is number 1 this month with 28 raffle tickets, DNY for life. Number 2 with 13. Shout out to Ryan McCarthy on the Boy Green Meets Woody show, gifted a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. We got a tie with Ant Jets 82, Ant-Man, great meeting you at the tailgate, and Paul Taxter with 5 raffle tickets apiece, and then NC Green, our guy, with 4 raffle tickets, rounding out there the top 5, which is pretty cool. And thank you, NC Green, for all your contributions with the Wounded Warrior Project. Much appreciated there, pal. Appreciated. And yes, that is our reigning currently top 5. And obviously, as I just said, with Ryan McCarthy, you can jump into the top 5 pretty quick. 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Hey, now you can jump right in there in the top 5. So feel free to continue to take advantage of that. Thank you, T-Town Jet, for that membership. You got yourself a raffle ticket for this month's contest. Again, I just want to go full circle and say this. I am an AG guy. I think he needs time. In one off season, you can't have an entire roster of your guys. Now you say, he could have cut everyone, and then technically all these or this. He could have, he should have, he would have. No, I think it's gonna. He signed a 5-year deal. He didn't sign a 1-year deal. He signed a 5-year deal. So there's going to be a lot of these decisions. Some players you're stuck with for a year, and then we're gonna have to make some decisions. Is, to your point, the Jets signed Jamin Sherwood, so now he is an AG guy. Of course, that was actually the first big move that this new regime made. But what happens to Quincy? What happens to Brees? What happens to some of these 1-year guys that, are they their guys? Are they not their guys? Well, the pivot point's about to come this offseason. We're going to find out on a lot of these key figures.
Yeah, and I'm not on any train for Aaron Glenn to be let go. I would, he may not have earned the full 5 years, but he's definitely earned 3. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you're doing. You can't keep jerking the organization around. What are you doing? He does need to make sure, he does need to feel uncomfortable. He needs to make sure the effort is there. There is, so yeah, I'm not against AG. I would say, though, you say they're not his guys. I would say the majority of the offense, except the Lizard, who's sprained his female parts this week and won't be playing. There's definitely somebody that we should cut bait on.
Yeah, and we'll see. Again, there's going to be a lot of those key decisions being made sooner rather than later for this Jets organization. Pop, is there anything else you'd like to get to before we get to the fans?
Yeah. I'd really like to talk about the offense on 3 key things about the offense.
Sure. Oh, wait, let me get this ready for you. As a matter of fact, we don't get to dust this off often anymore. Normally, this is basically an exclusive off-season thing, so I love to utilize our sounds when we can utilize them. So you're going to go 3 to 1?
Yep.
Okay, so
Number 3.
Yeah, so number 3 is multi-tiered, but I'll explain. One of these things is true, right? The Jets have the best fourth quarter offense in the NFL. Or they're able to score a bunch of points when the game is beyond reach. And almost every game, 75% of Justin Fields' touchdowns come in the fourth quarter when the Jets are losing by multiple scores. And so either the play calling we use in the fourth quarter we should use all the time, or they're truly garbage time when people are allowing us to score in their defense. So I think we need to be more – number 3 here is be more aggressive early. Be more aggressive early. That's number 3.
Okay. Well, do you have any more Justin Fields on your list?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Then we'll wait on this. I got some show and tell to do in a second, but let's go next.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Justin Fields is exactly who we thought he was. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Okay.
And so I've watched every game this year except for maybe one for some reason. I was in Abu Dhabi. But
yeah, we had Steelers, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, and then Cowboys we just had.
And yeah, so to me, what they're not doing, Justin Fields is an amazing runner. and we need more intentional runs
I
by
agree.
Justin Fields. Most of his runs are play breakdown, or he does his half of a read and then so he needs a run with intention. We need to put those in the game plan because by my recollection, there's maybe one or two a game that was intentional. It may be, I don't have the
You're
specific number.
spitballing. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So intentional runs, right? And run pass option, something like that. Those need to be baked in. That's who he is. Let's use it. And to date, we have not used it well.
That is very fair. We haven't. So, and again, I'm assuming you have another Justin Fields point here at number one.
Number one.
That I will.
Number one.
It's a Justin Fields.
Okay.
It's a the number three was really about their offensive coordinator. The Jolly Green Giant that you stood next to in training camp.
Let me see. Do I have that picture available? Let me see. Go ahead. You can continue.
Yeah. Number one is this. It's a point and a question for you. It's a point
for me.
question for
Okay.
you.
All right.
So, who would you say the most valuable receiver we have?
There he is. Ah, nice. Way to go, Tanner. Yeah. There we go. And that nice duffel bag the Jets gave me for my items
You could
I
have set
bought.
that on the ground, for God's sakes.
Well, I didn't know a picture was happening. Again, I was shout out to Lou B. We were brought into a private area, and then Tanner Angster was just there, and so was Alan Lazard. That is him right behind me, by the way. I just said sup, and then he said sup back, and then I moved on. And so that was the length of our conversation. I might have asked him how he was doing because he was injured at the time, but no. And then Lou B said, "Let's get a picture in real quick." I'm like, oh, all right. So there wasn't really a lot of time to move and groove. We did have a long conversation though, 3, 4, 5 minutes or something about the offense, which was nice. But yeah, there he is, old Tanner. What a guy. Anywho, what's your question? I have to ponder.
Who's the best receiver on the Jets?
Well, that doesn't take a lot of pondering. That would be Garrett Wilson for 500, Alex.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
And,
yeah. And so number one is I won't go any more trivia for you. I don't want you to lose a brain cell, but I will tell you a fact so you can get to
trivia. Okay, great. Yeah, let's go. Here we go. Yeah.
How many receptions did Garrett Wilson have in the first half of the Jets-Cowboys game?
Again, we've talked about this, that, when you watch the game from your perspective, it's sometimes harder to keep track of that kind of data. But if I had to guess, maybe 2 catches?
Uno! One catch until the game was out of reach.
Quality over quantity.
One catch until the game was out of reach. His second catch came with 6 minutes and 36 seconds, down 27 points in the third quarter.
All right.
You got to get your playmakers the ball. Garrett Wilson touching the ball once when the game was in question is embarrassing. And it happened like 2 minutes into the game. And then he could have been out getting a massage, going to the buffet.
All right.
He was nowhere to be found. And some of it is on him. Some of it is on the Jolly Green Giant we just had on the screen. And the other one is on Justin Fields, right? Okay. You got to get your playmakers the ball. And 2 catches, only 1 catch when the game was in question. What are we doing? So the offense needs to get it going. Forget the defense for a minute. My top 3 are only about the offense. Get Garrett Wilson the ball early and often, however that looks, right? Intentionally run with Justin Fields and improve the play calling. Maybe there's a harness on Justin Fields like there was in Pittsburgh, the first 6-pack. And then they said, well, with this harness, he sucks. So we're going to bench him. Maybe that harness exists and we don't know. We don't know what's going inside the quarterback room. Maybe they're trying to rein him in. Well, it's not working. So you need to unleash the beast, if you will, like my sponsor here, Unleash Beast.
Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, great.
And those are the keys for the offense. Because defense doesn't stand a ghost of a chance. That's a song from New Orleans. Doesn't stand a ghost of a chance if they're on the field 57 minutes of the game because the offense holds the ball 3 and out, 3 and out. So those are the top 3 I have.
So let me ask you this, Pop. One of your superpowers, you say in your real job, is that you can listen to all sides and sort of be able to unbiased, take yourself out of it, and just be able to be the perfect guy to hear all the facts and be able to, ascertain and sort of go from there. So, if I put that correctly?
Yep.
Okay. So I'd like to present to you a fun fact. There's no trivia required here. I want to present you a fun fact. Now, you may not like this fun fact, but it's just facts. And that's what I'm all about. Okay? I just
Everybody on the show knows you have nothing. You and facts that have never even been in the same room together.
So I'd like you to put some respect on this man's name.
Don't do it. Don't put his face up on the screen.
Here's Justin Fields, okay? And this currently has 200,000 views on Twitter, okay? And that may be hard to see. So let's zoom in on this. Justin Fields is the only starting quarterback in the NFL, minimum 4 games played, to have not thrown a pick this season, okay? He is the only starting quarterback in the NFL this season, playing minimum of 4 games, that's not thrown a pick. Jalen Hurts was a part of that group until he threw that awful interception on Thursday Night Football against the Giants. So Justin Fields is playing a clean game, man. Let's say it together. Not Goose Fraba. Justin Fields is not the problem. Justin Fields is not the problem. Idiots. And let's just sort of work our way there.
No, moron. He is the problem. He threw to his number 1 receiver 1 time in 3 quarters.
That's on the offensive coordinator.
30
Justin Fields is following the plan.
30-3.
Justin Fields is following the plan, man. He's following the plan. Come on, Pop. Put some respect. No. Justin Fields, no picks, baby. Not a single pick. So where is the gosh darn respect
moron
JF7? Why
the Jets should have signed Flacco and moved Fields to the slash position. Make him a receiver, make him a running back, make him a wildcat guy. That's what he's good at. But the problem is the Jets aren't throwing the ball down the field. They're not using him for what he's good for. And he's a mediocre quarterback doing dink-dunk.
There he is. Point to the back, baby. Boom, boom, boom. JF7 has not thrown a pick yet this season. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. No other starting quarterback is in that group. Justin Fields, not the problem. Not the problem. So it's interesting. You didn't say that in any of your points. I thought that would have been that could be a Woody 3.
But I can prove it. We can go look. How many starting quarterbacks that have started 4 games or more? Yeah. Who has the fewest touchdowns? I wonder what that stat is.
Total touchdowns?
Who has the fewest?
Fewest total touchdowns is what you're asking?
No. Passing touchdowns is what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. So you discriminate against rushing touchdowns. Okay, that doesn't surprise me, but okay.
Yeah. Who do you think that is? Which starting quarterback that's played at least 4 games has only thrown 1 touchdown in the first 3 quarters of a game?
Which starting quarterback, minimum 4 games played, has set new career highs in completion percentage, quarterback rating, and when you look at it there from a passing yards attempt perspective? So interesting. Oh, that would be Justin Fields. Oh, interesting. So again,
I can't believe you're satisfied with his play.
I didn't say I was satisfied. I'm impressed with
You're espousing him. So you want to lock him up to a lifetime contract now to be the starting quarterback for the Jets?
I don't make those decisions. That's above my pay grade, but I am.
But if you could, would you?
To a lifetime contract?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Because worst case, he could be the backup quarterback, and he's a great guy. So he brings the right mentality to the locker room. So Justin Fields could be the guy for this season and be the bridge for next season. There's nothing wrong with that. Why you hate Justin Fields, I just don't understand.
I don't hate him. I said
you do. You clearly hate his guts, which is a little strange.
One of us is dealing in reality, and one is not. He's not a starting quarterback level talent.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree.
Or it's the Jolly Green Giants' fault. So it's somebody's fault, right? He's not using the weapon he has appropriately. That could be the case. If Justin Fields ran with intention on designated play calls, and he starts getting the ball to Garrett Wilson, then
interesting. Justin Fields averages more rushing yards per game than any quarterback in football. That's another interesting statistic.
Right. That's because he does one read and pulls it down and runs with it.
I disagree.
You already agreed a minute ago. You can't go back when I said he only has a couple.
New information presents. You can make different decisions.
What information?
Okay, so what is your point? What is your point here? The Jets should bench Justin Fields to go to Tyrod Taylor? What's your point here?
My point is they need to do something different. Every game he started has looked the same.
Hey, right? I'm all for doing something different.
They're 0-5. I go back to my top 3. That's it. Right? Use him more effectively. Okay. That's it.
Here's the thing before we get to the fans. The facts of the matter is this, is that the problem is not on offense. The problem is on defense. Quinnen Williams is right. You must have missed the show yesterday. That's okay. We do it 7 days a week, 7:30 in the morning. Quinnen Williams said the reason the Jets are on 5 is the defense. It's on us. It's 100%. The Jets are on pace to have the worst defense in Jets franchise history, to allow more points than any defense before them. And boy, have there been some bad ones. So the defense, if they weren't giving up 30 points a game, the Jets may have a few more wins on the docket. But they couldn't. Week 3, the Jets had everything in line. All the defense had to do is get one stop. You get a pick, a fumble, force them to go a turnover on downs, and the Jets have a win on the schedule. Aaron Glenn is not the first head coach in Jets franchise history to start his career 0-5. The first time Jets head coach to do that. He wouldn't be if the defense had a backbone, and they didn't. They folded like a cheap suit in a moment where they were called upon and needed. They folded. And that has happened throughout the entire season. So I hope this players-only meeting that Jermaine Johnson had with the team before they made this trip to London could sack up. Because while we could criticize the offense with your 3 points and all these things, I'm not saying they're perfect. Obviously, they're not. But the defense has been far the bigger issue, in my opinion, which is why they're 0-5. It's on the defense. It's on Steve Wilks. It's not on Justin Fields.
Yeah, this entire thing around Justin Fields outside the top 3 is how I think the offense can be better, and that will help them win. My thing about Justin Fields is countering there's a glass half full guy. You are the moon is full of green cheese with the glory you have for Justin Fields and the idiotic things you say about he's only quarterback without an interception. He has some work to do.
That is a factual statistic. And I don't know why. Let me see. What's the ratio on this tweet right now? Let me see how many responses I have to this tweet. You have 236 responses. 1.1 thousand people like this. Okay. But there's a lot of people that threw some very angry names at me when I put this out on social media. They didn't like it. Not one bit. You go to that Twitter right now, there's some very nasty comments there. Shame, shame, shame. I should tell your priest and your parents and your teachers for these kinds of nasty comments you call me, because people don't like facts. But anywho, Pop, are you ready for the fans?
I am. Just regarding the defense,
sure.
I think it is clearly on Wilks, right? If you can't have multiple all pros on your defense and then be the problem without it being the scheme being the problem. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I would just say this real quick on all of this chatter. And, Robert Saleh's brother taking shots at the Jets. And, hey, I mean, it is what it is. But look at these stats. The stats speak for themselves. The defense is basically the same. There's very minimal differences from the Jets defense of yesteryear to what it is today. And here it is. Bill Barnwell shared this on social media. Across their final 17 games, you talk about the Jets, with Robert Saleh, the Jets had the league's best defense by points per drive and EPA per play. In their subsequent 17 games without Saleh, obviously some of that includes Jeff Ulbrich, the Jets have had the league's worst defense by those same metrics. So the team is basically the same, but they're performing a lot worse. Normally, it doesn't take a doctor to say that wouldn't be on all the players, although the players are performing poorly. That's on some of the coaching. Now, some of that's on Ulbrich. Obviously, he had a much larger sample size than the 5 weeks we've had so far at Wilkes. So, again, to me, I'm on the defense to step the hell up, and we will see if they can.
Absolutely. And one last thing on Aaron Glenn before you. He needs to stop saying we had a good practice, right? I just hear Ulbrich's voice in the back of my head. Okay. We had a great practice. We had a great practice. We had a great practice. Shut up about that. Say something different. But when you say that, most Jets fans should start twitching like they're having a seizure, right?
Hey, great practice can sometimes lead to great games. We haven't seen it yet so far this season, but it could happen sooner rather than later. Let's do this. Let's take a live Hep timeout. You guys who went to the tailgate know exactly what this is. For those who don't, here's a taste of what
Moron!
the annual Boy Green Woody tailgate experience is all about.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone,
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Let's go!
So much hope and euphoria and build up before the game for it all to come crashing back down. But in all seriousness, Hep was awesome. The tailgate was awesome. I loved how everyone got into everything, and what a time. So I can't wait to continue to play that. That live version is spectacular, and big salute to Hep for getting us started there. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, and Hep had some dance moves. I don't know if you saw it. He was out there moving and grooving.
Yeah. With Mrs. Hep, I saw him busted a move out there on the dance floor, cutting up the rug.
Some, like, robot stuff, or I don't know. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, well, massive respect, man. God really put a lot of talent in that body, singing, dancing. I mean, he's a do-it-all man. There's no question about it. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Ted will kick us off here. What's up, NY Jets FL?
Morning, Paul Senior. Paul.
Good morning.
Beautiful day in Florida, 72 degrees. Humidity's completely gone for the day. For us, this is our winter finally coming. So it's been super hot. I have a Cowboys question for your dad, and I have a quarterback prospect that I wanted to bring up.
Ooh, okay.
So is your quarterback is your draft guru Dom Paul? Is that your
He has historically been, but he's taken on some more job responsibilities. So halfway through our draft process last year, a new younger guy, his name's Drew Beatty, was with us for the back half, and he was great.
Okay.
So I think we're going to Drew Beatty moving forward, but we'll see. I love Dom.
Okay. I live in Tampa, so USF is right here. And if anyone doesn't know anything about USF, they're the 24th ranked team. They played Miami, which they got smoked, but that's probably the best team in the country.
Sure.
They played Florida State. They played Florida. They beat Boise State. Byron Brown is his name. He's a 6'3", 220, maybe 230. Very solid. I would say maybe Jalen Hurts light.
Ooh.
But he's developing. He's starting to really develop he was kind of off the radar, but now I think I've seen like 5th round grades on him, but if he continues to do well, like he's doing, he's gonna be like in the 3rd or 4th round area. So if these quarterbacks are, you can't really pick a 1st rounder and you're really not in love with them, maybe we trade out if we are in that position. That's the kind of guy. I mean, I think he's a better prospect than Will Howard. But in Will Howard, some days he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, quite honestly. This guy definitely has a little bit more upside, let's say that.
Hey, quick question. Nate was asking, is that the North Texas quarterback? Is that the one who made that? Who's down there? Or a different guy?
No, they played North Texas last night.
Oh,
they were down. They North Texas came out smoking, and they actually scored early, and it turned out to be 63-14 USF. I think it was at the end. So they they have a good team. They have a nice team, USF. That's kind of the under the radar team. Dad,
it was 63-36.
Oh, okay. Oh,
give us some respect. Come on, man.
I fell asleep. Sorry, I fell asleep.
That's all right.
Last time I saw it was 14. Okay, so on the Cowboys note. Well, no, I love that team. I will never fall asleep on them. I won't give that team up. That team I'll never give up. I don't care how much they break my heart. So Dallas, okay, I know they're going to get healthy. They have a lot of talent, Mr. Eslin Sr. If we're 0-6, would you take your 2 picks from the Micah Parsons deal and trade for Quinnen and Breece Hall as a package and make a run? Make a true run, because they can win a division. The Eagles are currently playing mediocre football at best.
Yeah, the Eagles, you go back to that Cowboys game, 1 catch more by CeeDee Lamb, and the Eagles lose that. And there was 3 opportunities.
Exactly.
We're not talking about 1 play. We're talking about 3 plays that CeeDee Lamb catches any of those 3. So I would have to answer that question. I'm not interested in Breece Hall at all. And I'll explain why. It's just another problem, right? The running back room is very successful right now for the Cowboys. Probably the best, the results wise, is the best they've had in a couple of years. His name escapes me.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, he's in the top 3 in rushing in the NFL right now, I believe. So we don't need him, and then he's just a headache. And I mean by headache, he's a great player. So people think I don't like Breece Hall. That is not true. What is true is he's not a running back that I would pay premium dollar for a second contract. And the Cowboys don't need him right now. If they get an injury, it'd be a different thing. They don't need him right now. So you'd have him for the rest of the year in a crowded running back room. And then you have to make decisions that we know you're going to make, which is my point on Breece Hall. Nobody's going to franchise tag him. He's going to want $8, $9, $10 million a year. He's probably not going to get that from either the Jets or the Cowboys. So for that part of it, I wouldn't necessarily want him. I don't think that helps the Cowboys. Quinnen Williams, I don't know the current duration of his contract. If the only reason I would say no on Quinnen Williams is this. I believe he's the piggy bank is almost out of guaranteed money.
Correct. And he has $5 million in guaranteed dollars left on his contract beyond this season. He has multiple years left, but obviously, if he was traded to any team, that would have to be a part of the negotiation. Is a brand new deal.
Only 27.
It wouldn't have to be, but that's the problem.
Well, I mean, hey, Jamal Adams, it didn't have to be when he was traded to Seattle, and they super regretted it because they had no choice
right.
and to make him the highest paid safety in football.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick. I get it. Right?
That's not one I would have.
But you're chasing. But you're chasing a championship.
Yeah, what I would say that would be my only concern. Yeah, I would definitely. He would bring value. I would tell you right now. I said it before it happened. I said it when it happened, and I'll just tie it up with a bow right now. The Cowboys won that trade with Micah Parsons. Won that trade. You look at the stats.
I think they tied, actually. I think they tied that.
No. Yeah. Nope. It enabled them to sign that money they didn't spend on. That's a good one. That money they didn't spend on Micah Parsons. They re-signed 2 of their players to long-term deals. They still have a lot of salary cap space. The player that came has had almost as many sacks as Micah Parsons has as an interior defensive lineman. So the Cowboys are doing quite well, and they still have surplus of the salary cap that they didn't spend on that they could have. Quinnen Williams would come in, and then the Cowboys defense provided that the secondary stays at the level they did last week, there would be make a serious run with Quinnen Williams on the team. So I absolutely wouldn't. I would be willing to. Is he 2 first rounders today with that contract?
No,
maybe not.
No,
but yeah, I would definitely accept the trade if they could work a fair value trade out. 100%, I would trade for him. 100%.
I gotcha. Yeah. I just think after 30-something years, I'm not trying to diss the Cowboys, but 30 years of not winning a championship, this is the year to do it. This is definitely the year. And the AFC is not exactly the strongest. They don't appear to be with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Right. So this is the year to really go. I don't care what team it wants to make a move. But the Cowboys seem to be one that, Dak is playing at a high level, and you're going to get CD back. Hey, Paul, real quick. I was thinking about Jackson Dart, and I think my beef with June the GM was about Jackson Dart's gum chewing, was it not?
It was.
Was Jackson Dart snapping his gum?
Yes, at the combine, he wore that cap backward. It was chewing gum and all that. Yes, so pour one out for June, the GM, wherever he may be. That now has come full circle with Jackson Dart beating the Eagles and slapping them around on Thursday Night Football.
I guess he looks okay for a prospect now, doesn't he? Let's just say he looks all right, right?
Not
except for that weird thing that he did when he put his fingers in
I saw that.
Your boy's mouth there. That
Jameis Winston, right?
Jameis
feed him the W. Here, eat this.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought it was a crab leg he was trying to feed him, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Different strokes, different folks. That's all right. Yeah, Jackson's a different cat. He's doing TikTok dances in the end zone. He's helping his teammate rip his shirt off. It's
that weird head rubbing thing that him and Scattaboo are doing. Like that's odd.
Hey, if you think some of that's odd, I will just warn you, do not read Connor Hughes' descriptions of the conversations between Brian Dable and Jackson Dart, where they're grabbing each other's head and neck and looking at each other and telling them they love each other. It seems to be a different genre than what normally covers here on Boy Green Daily.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
with that. Of course not. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Did you hear about the investigation of Brian Dable about yelling at the doctor about Jackson Dart's supposed concussion thing?
And let me just say this over and over again. Guilty. They showed all these camera angles of Jackson Dart goes in the blue tent. Brian Dable was looking at the doctor, giving him the hurry the F up. You're not allowed to be a part of that process at all. That is distinctly revealed in the NFL rules, and it sounds like he's going to get harshly punished. What does harshly punished mean? We're going to find out. But
I don't think
100% that was a sham of a concussion protocol test.
I don't think we've ever seen this before. Like the NFL, when they put this concussion protocol, when they put that blue tent on the field, they've been very strict with it. There's clear autonomy.
Independent neurologist, correct?
Right. Dabo, and I don't give a shit about the Giants. They're insignificant, and Dart's going to crash the ground. But he should be suspended for multiple games for doing that. And Scattaboo should be fined or suspended a game.
Jumping in the tent.
He went into the fucking tent. So what are we doing? Obviously, Justin Dart, we put all that in place to protect the player from himself. You see this young kid, he wants to get back on the field. And then when the coach is setting that stage, 4-game suspension for that snapper head. And Scattaboo should be clearly, there's no reason. He has no reason to go inside that tent. Zero.
Shit. So we'll see, but I think the NFL is going to come down harshly because they don't want this to become a thing. But very clearly, Brian Dable broke every rule that existed of coming in there, yapping at the doctor, saying, hurry up, to get him back in for key plays. The entire process was a sham. So there's a lot of punishment coming. I don't know what that punishment looks like, but it's coming.
Fascinating. I'm sure you have other calls. On the game tomorrow, every game I go into the game thinking we're going to win. I really do. I may be delusional, but sooner or later things have to turn. And I think I think Jermaine coming back and kind of the players coming together and saying, what are we doing here? Because obviously in the press conferences, certain players mentioned coaches that they put a plan in and we need to follow it. So obviously they're not. So I think we're going to be. I'm not going to say we're going to win. But I think we're going to be ultra competitive. I don't think we're going to get blown out. Like Avatar likes the blowouts. I don't think it's going to be even that. I think the Jets can even win outright.
Let's go, Ted. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Thanks for the call, brother. And yes, I'm all about it. Yeah, hell yeah, baby. Let's get that win. No, go ahead, Pop.
Yeah. I would just like to quickly do a shout out to Peg and Artie, who got married yesterday, and together for more than a quarter of a century. They tied the knot yesterday together for 26 years.
Yes, I was trying to find a proper comment to highlight from either Peg and Artie or anybody, but it took 26 years, but we did it. So congratulations, Party with Peg and Artie. It's been great to have you in the comment section. So many cheers. Thank you, Dave Briga, for bringing that to my attention. It is absolutely amazing news. So big, hearty congratulations there. Let's make sure we get the super chat in, then we'll go back to the phone lines here. Here we go.
Wow.
Ace of Spades says, Pop, there's several holes on defense. Michael Clemens, Tyler Barron, and Tony Adams, to name a few.
Yeah, some of those are not holes. They're black holes.
I see. By the way, Ace of Spade, you now have, with your previous Super Chat combinations, you now have 2 raffle tickets to our contest this month, so much appreciated. Yeah, I would say this. Tyler Barron has been non-existent in a bad way. Like, he's been invisible, man, and they traded up for him, so that looks terrible. Tony Adams came back on a restricted free agent deal. I don't mind bringing him back on relatively cheap money, but you probably should make that transition sooner rather than later to go to Malachi Moore just to see what the young kid has. The coaching staff seems very high on him. And again, Clemens, we've talked about it for 1,000 years. If they didn't want Clemens to play as much as he's playing, they should have done a better job in the offseason of filling up that cabinet with viable guys. They did not. It seemed like a questionable decision at the time with Jermaine Johnson coming off an Achilles and Will McDonald being an imperfect player with how he's constructed. Very talented, double-digit sack season, but not a full player, which meant that someone else had to step in on some of those rundowns. They didn't think that through. Michael Clemens playing a lot. People are yelling and throwing things about it. I think they have no one to blame but themselves from that conversation. But yeah,
you just look back to the draft. We're like, and now they're gonna, and now,
yeah, right.
How about it? Hit it.
Yeah, it just took a while there. Let's finish off with a couple more phone calls. Hey, look at this guy, Lou B, Super Jets fan, baby.
Hey.
What's up, Lou B?
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, baby. Nice backdrop there. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm at work in Atlantic City. This is my my weekly job.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Well, it looks like things are going well for you, Lou B. Very well.
Not really, because no matter where I am in the world, the Jets seem to upset me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well.
And you know, my whole point here is I'm very into the draft. Like, I'm going to the draft this year, and
Awesome.
I'm very into the draft.
Nice.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear about Jackson Dart again, right? But the thing is, I have to hear about it all day because I put my fandom out there, right? And the Giant fans have been coming for me like you won't believe, because Jackson was my pick, right? So I was real. I told you, BG, before the draft, I had Dart over Cam. I know that sounded crazy then, but the thing is, the one thing that Dart has, forget the running, forget the throwing, the thing that Dart has that's superior over Justin Fields is energy. Because what happens when one little issue, one fumble, how can one fumble end a game? It does, because the second we have one mistake, it's like an alien ship comes over MetLife and sucks the energy out of the players, and it's gone. And you lose, right? You could actually bet that they're going to lose over one mistake. And that's because Justin doesn't have that energy to like throw himself. I don't know what it is, but that's the thing that the Jets. So what I'm saying is, when the Jets draft a quarterback this next time around, if he doesn't have that energy like a Dart does or somebody, you might as well not even draft him, because you could throw him like Montana. If there's a little mistake that you don't even cause, and you're not that guy to pump up your team, we can't win. We just can't win. You need someone who's going to, and you know who I see doing that all the time is G5 on the sidelines. He tries so hard. Like, they could be losing by 30, and he's still out there pumping people up because that's who he is. But he's a receiver. You need your quarterback to be that type of leader. And you could see that that's what Jackson has. That's what Justin doesn't have. And I understand it's two different ways of play, but we are, as Jets, we have that issue of just being deflated. And that is something that needs to be addressed. Like, they cannot think that that is not real. That is as real as the field is green, right? That's just my thought about it.
And by the way, Luby, I'd say you've nailed it. You look at when the Jets have faced any kind of adversity this year, if they would have had a different moxie, a different type to say, hey, guys, like, basically, to kind of reinstill faith and say, hey, don't worry, we're going to turn it around. But with how Justin Fields is, that is not his personality. That is not his type. And no other player, at least in that sort of position, is stepping up to be that void. So then things are just crumbling underneath. So, yeah, I've definitely, how could you not sense it from Jackson Dart? It's out of every pore of his being, this vibe and energy and everything that obviously is resonating in that Giants organization right now. It's well said.
And you could actually see there's something very similar. Their backup player, Winston, right?
Oh yeah, Jameis Winston. Yeah, what a
Him
freak.
and Tommy DeVito was that way too. That's the one thing that the Giants nail is their energy type. Like Russell was obviously a pick that they had to pick at that point. They needed some type of veteran, best one available at that time. But you could see there's a common factor between these the quarterbacks the Giants have. They have somebody that's going to pump people up, and I don't know. I wanted Tommy as a backup player too.
I do. Yes.
It wasn't really because of, yes, he's a good quarterback, but he's also a pump up guy, right? He's one of the best guys in the locker room, and we need that so bad. I know we have some guys on our defense that could do that, and I think that's what they need to get into, because one mistake and okay, game's over. Let's just leave. Let's leave. I watch the sidelines. I'm right there.
Yeah.
I watch guys just be like, they're like playing on if they had their iPhone, they'd be texting at that time.
Hey, and by the way, I was texting with Tommy's agent, Sean Stellato, who everybody knows from look of who Sean is. And I was saying when it looked like it was going a certain way in Giants land, I'm like, hey, would there be, between me and you here, would there be any Jets action? He's like, Paul, I can't tell you that. I'm like, of course. And then Connor Hughes comes out and says, oh, yeah, the Jets were totally interested in Tommy. They never got a chance, of course. He was claimed off of waivers. New England was higher in the waiver wire order. So who knows what could have, should have, would have happened if they had a chance at Tommy. That would have been awesome.
We are lacking energy in a major way. We need a leader that's going to pump us up when things are down, when they're good, and when they're down, because that is something that the Jets are missing. And it don't matter who you have on the team. If things go wrong and someone's not there to pick you up, it's over. And then it's just so important. What's up, Pop? Pop, you good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'll tell you, the Jets also need it on defense. You go back to the Breeze fumble. The Cowboys had to go 92 yards before they scored that touchdown. And they had several big plays, none of them on that drive. And I say big plays like 15, 20 yards. They just march down the field. That's when you need someone on the defense, just to your point, to get Quentin Williams, gets the defense together on the side. Let's get this ball back. So our team was 10-3. Let's get this ball back. And they didn't have that fire on the defense. And they allowed them to do a systematically march down the field in rapid fashion. Again, with no big chunk plays on that drive. Their fire needed on both sides. I agree with 100%.
Yeah, and Aaron is a very passionate guy, right? So he does bring that in, but obviously they're listening to their coach. It's like a little different than listening to a player. And I just think that I'm going to be watching these quarterbacks now. I'm starting to see who I like, and that's going to be a factor. I want to see the guy who's jumping around, and yeah, that's it. I'm just having to hear these Giant fans like crazy all day long, text after joke after. You would be shocked how many messages of jokes. And I was just watching Stephen A. Smith had a clip about the most miserable person in the world right now is a Jets fan.
I saw that same clip.
And why?
Jesus.
And I think that just ruined my day, because he was so right, and I hate to agree with him.
Of course, yeah, right.
He's a secret Jet fan. He is
definitely, yeah.
He's a DL Jet fan. So just watching him talk about, we did need an offensive lineman, and we do need to build the trenches. But it was, I think, AG has a level of stubbornness that is hurting us. I love AG. I'm all about him. But the things that he does, I think stubborn is a huge factor with this guy. Not firing Wilkes, if he's not thinking that after Denver game, if we lose, and I hope we don't, but Wilkes is going to have to go. And if he's just going to stay on that stubborn path, I understand the Clemens thing because there's nobody else. So who do you put in, right? But him putting in like a kick returner that he knew, right? He was probably like, I know a guy, right? And brings some other genius to come and kill us.
Yeah.
To think that one returner injury changed the entire season for us. If I had to nail last season, I would say it was the Denver game that lost.
Yeah. 10-9.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Boom. And if I had to nail this season, I would say after the season, I would say it was the kicker, the Iguano
injury. Iguano, and then Isaiah Williams and Xavier Gibson.
Yeah,
it all came from there.
On, and that was all she wrote at this for this season. So these things, as a fan, I'm a real fan, right? I don't know shit about football, but I'm a real fan, and just watching this with my own 2 eyes, and seeing like last year the Denver kick, and this year the injury, it's just so obvious what's going on here. And AG is so stubborn, and he keeps on letting his stubbornness get in front of some of the decisions. I think, like, we're with you. Where you have so many people, so many fans that are with you, AG. We're holding for you, right? 100%. But you can't take us down. You have to make the move. Wilkes has to go. He just has to go. I was all for him when he got here, but it's just not working, right?
Clearly not.
Unfortunately, he just has to go, or we are going to be suffering.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Lou B. But I'll tell you this: if we can't get that quarterback that pumps up the energy, hell, the Lou BB sprinter and DJ Gina Turner and Willie, they could. I don't know if there's a path to immediately get on the field, start pumping them up from that perspective. But if we could, I mean, that would be terrific. You guys absolutely killed it. So again, Lou B, the legend. Thank you so much.
That was a great day. I really thought that was such a great tailgate with you guys. It was so great to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Met Hop on Pop and everyone, and I tried to extend my courtesy as much as I could to every single Jet fan that was there. October 19th, I'm doing my tailgate at L5 Jersey Burn.
So yeah, there you
welcome.
Go, baby.
Any Jet fan is welcome. Just come by. You don't have to don't need to do anything. We just come by. We're gonna do a big tailgate that day. I'm bringing my staff and a whole bunch of friends, and everyone's obviously always welcome with me. If you're a Jet fan, you're with me.
I love that. Lou B, thanks, brother. And thanks for calling in. We love having you on, man. Feel free.
Yeah, I woke up to Stephen A. Smith and was just like, oh, God, so upset about this. That just kills me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, screw that guy, that Stephen A. Smith bastard. I saw that same clip. He went like, it's not this. He was repeating all these terrible things that happened in the universe. No, the most miserable folks. He looks right to the camera. These Jet fans. I was like, and they just went on this rant about like how like it was sort of pitiful, not like yelling like normal Stephen. It was just like blasphemous. Look at the Jets. They're all in their mitts here, and they're just acting all kinds of terrible. And he was just doing all that Stephen.
That wasn't bad, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was just sort of hearing him like, okay, nice.
That's pretty good.
I've never done a Stephen A. Smith impression before, so very nice. I'm going to have to work on that one. Okay, that a little chutzpah. All right, let's get one more call here to wrap up the show. It is your buddy or brother, uncle, aunt.
I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah. There we go.
Right. Yeah. Have you seen it? I've lost it somewhere. Good morning, Pops. It's good to see you again, BG, as always.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick Ferry had just dropped a great article like 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, on Jet, and me and Nick, we go back, we go around and around. The negative Nick, but. He explained this players only meeting that we just had, and a really good, he's turning this positive Nick thing. I'm still I
imagine.
Yeah, I'm still confused, but this wasn't a team meeting. This was just strictly this was just strictly a defensive meeting, and it's about time the players are starting to hold each other accountable. We've been complaining about we don't have leadership. We can talk about the leadership of the coaches. We don't have the leadership on the field, and and with AG trying to find who's this leader, and I don't know if we actually have one yet or not. But I think the players are this is the beginning stages of figuring it out. They're going to start holding each other accountable. Good. The fans are holding, we're talking about firing Wilkes and AG being a clown and all this stuff. No, at the end of the day, there's plays that, the players go out there and they just need to execute. And if we're not getting beat by the wrong calls, we're getting beat by not executing the calls that are out there, and maybe that's some of that falls on the coaching, but a lot of that just falls on the players. And I think the players have finally, I don't know if they've gotten tired of it, but the article in there talks about, and he quotes a lot from Jermaine Johnson. JJ's coming back. And I've said this, that I think JJ is that guy that could be that leadership role on the field, and we're missing that. I see this as a positive thing. A lot of times the players only meeting is usually just the prelude to somebody getting fired.
Normally, right? Yeah,
right.
That's a connotation anyway, right?
Yeah, and Feria kind of spun it around to say it may be the opposite for the Jets. Because
positive Feria.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But I just just the way he spun it, it sounded really good. That that we're finally starting to take some accountability in the locker room. And that's kind of what we're missing here is people missing assignments, and there's nobody out there to pull these guys their feet to the fire and say, look, don't screw up again.
Right.
And that's okay, so I just wanted to bring that up,
Thanks, Bill.
And I wanted to say I'm glad I come on after Lou B, because that guy's just awesome.
Yeah, he's really cool. It's been nice to get to know him. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, Indy, on the execution part, but I think that only holds true for the defense. Excuse me. The defensive gaps are failure to execute the plan. They're not doing it. The offense, I think it's the plan is the problem. Right.
Yes, we're on the same 1,000%. The defense isn't executing the plan, and then we're giving the offense the absolute wrong plan. Yes, we're 100% on board with that. And I will say, during the tailgate, I talked with Mr. Manchild, Jim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he told some great stories of the young BG.
Oh boy. I didn't hear any of those. That's dangerous.
And how far these two guys go back, from BG begging an internship, and
That's true.
And all this stuff, and so we look at where BG's at now, and I look at we've got the Man-Child show on during the week, and a lot of thanks goes to Jim, for everything he's done to get this get this show where it was.
Sure.
And to help raise BG as best he could, Pops, it's tough.
Yeah, I would say, it is an interesting, Boy Green from begging for an internship to Boy Green carrying Lurch into the digital world.
Right, absolutely. The huge circle that was. I found that so interesting. You're absolutely right, Pops. Jim got opened the door for BG, and then now he's in position to open the doors for other people, and that's just absolutely amazing. So big shout out to Jim, and then taking it and running with it. So maybe it was a players only meeting between BG and Jim, and look where he's at.
Yeah, look at that. So cheers.
It's a step forward for the Jets D. We're gonna go get this win. This is our first win, and here we go.
That's it. Indy, appreciate the call. Before we get out of here, Pop, NC Green gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Love you, buddy. Time 5 memberships or more gifted. We have to play a video package. Oh, I remember this time.
The extra point for the lead. You bet Aaron Glenn is happy. He's running a 4.5 right there, Kenny, chasing down Will McDonald for that touchdown. Man, and the Jets trailed 23.
Ah, yes. All right, NC Green, by the way, you have 9 raffle tickets to our contest. Thank you very much. Pop, read these out.
Yeah, Seth Martinez, Jet Dogs 101, Keith the Change, Ali Shafee, and My Cursor.
All right, beautiful.
I'd just like to add, we were talking about motivational players. Did you see the player that was running down the field with Aaron Glenn? Did you see who that was?
I did not.
Yeah, I believe it was Garrett Wilson was running. Go ahead and run it back.
I think I have the shorter version first.
Will McDonald returns it into the.
Let me switch back to the longer form.
Extra point for the lead. You bet Aaron Glenn is happy. He's running a 4.5 right there, Kenny, chasing down Will McDonald.
Yeah, that is Garrett Wilson skipping along there. That is.
Yeah, there's somebody invested in the game. There's somebody that's not half-assing it, and that needs to become contagious with the Jets. That was
it sure does. I want to thank everybody for joining us. The words. The family is a bit sick, so I appreciate you guys all powering through here. I don't know if you noticed it at all, but so some medicine will be ingested, and we're going to see if we can turn this around because I got a full play-by-play for tomorrow's game, so I got to make sure we sort of flew it up here and try to see if we could get the exercise some sick demons here. But I want to thank everybody for joining us on the show. I love getting to do this show with Hop on Pop. It's always a real pleasure. And shout out to Luby as well for being able to call into the show. I know Luby's a very busy guy, so we don't always get him on the show, but he was an integral piece, of course, of that tailgate experience. So big shout out to, again, Luby, Gina Turner, who is the DJ, Willie, another one of the DJs. Their entire crew was spectacular. And it just, again, whatever our tailgate would have been, it took it to a completely another level. So, again, absolute shout out to Luby. Pop, any final thoughts as we sign off here?
Yeah, Lou B, we're going to run this thing back. Lou B is signed up. Chef Kev is signed up.
Yes.
We're going to do the meet and greet the night before. And I imagine that we were almost, I don't know how many people we had in the night before, but it was 40, 45.
Yeah, that's right.
Is going to pack that room.
Yeah.
But I imagine that sign up is going to go quickly. So be on the top of your game with the tailgate and everything else. So I think that's about the number we can have for both the tailgate and the night before meet and greet. The game, we could probably go north of that, but probably 60 and 60. So you do not want to dilly-dally.
Yeah, definitely not. And I would just say at the end, I think proof of concept, me and Moody have never hosted a tailgate before, so I can understand some trepidation from those outside. And then I think it will speak for itself. Again, we will have at some point, I'll have to check back with our camera guy. We'll have some video montage package. So if anyone went, it'll be a 10, 15, 20-minute thing that sort of highlights everything that happened. So you guys look out for that on social media. I know the game didn't go the way we wanted, but I think the experience will be super cool, and I think that'll speak to itself of getting more people in the future. So, yes, make sure you guys are on top of it because, to your point, Pop, I think this is going to fill up a lot quicker next time around. So, folks, just be on the lookout again. There'll be plenty of shout-outs. If you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you're going to hear all of those announcements ahead of time on Discord. So you guys will have first dibs on a lot of those ticket opportunities and meet and greet opportunities and everything else, and then it'll go to the general public. So, folks, make sure you hop on it, and thank you for the kind words. I saw you in there, Frank. Yeah, the kids got sick, unfortunately, at the game, so but hey, that could happen. So we're all gonna heal up, get back quick, and we'll be all good. So thank everybody for all the thoughts and comments and things of that nature. Pop, great show, pal. Well, I'm sure you'll be popping in tomorrow for some of the Jets Broncos action.
Certainly will. Certainly will.
Everybody, God bless, take care, and love one another. We'll see you. Take care.